In this video, I'm going to cover how to lose weight over 50 and get rid of that annoying menopause belly fat, and I'm going to give you a bonus strength training workout so you can start tackling that belly fat today. Hello fam, and welcome to my channel. My name's Melissa Neal, and this channel is all about helping women over the age of 40 and women over the age of 50 get in fantastic shape. And yes, that is absolutely possible. When we hit our 50s, or maybe before then, during the perimenopause and the menopause, our hormones really start wreaking havoc with our weight, and we can have a lot of weight gain, a lot of belly fat gain, and it's really hard to shift, isn't it? I had the same problem, so I know how it feels if you're watching this and it feels like nothing is working. I'm going to take you through my 3 main strategies for losing weight and losing belly fat when we're over 50. So my number 1 strategy is strength training, and it is absolutely essential, and it really does work. It's worked for me in terms of getting rid of my belly fat. And you know, so many women that I know that do strength training have got completely flat stomachs even when they're in their 50s. So it is possible. So why is that? Why do I recommend strength training? Well, as we get older and we hit our 50s and we start going into the perimenopause and the menopause, our hormones start depleting. And one of the impacts of that is we actually lose muscle. We lose muscle mass. We start losing muscle mass in our 30s. And so what we need to do is put the muscle back on that we've lost, because what does muscle do? Muscle burns fat while we're sitting around not doing anything. That's the beauty of it, and so it can really change our metabolism, and that's what it's done for me, and that's what it's done for women on my programs. I run 2 programs for women over the age of 40 that focus on strength training and diet, and those programs I will link in the description. I run one which is a 12-week program called Lean and Strong, and I run another program called the 6-week Shred Challenge, which is 6 weeks. So in terms of strength training, if we're going to build our muscle in order to lose fat, I highly recommend compound movements, either at home or in the gym. And today I'm actually going to take you through a workout that you can do in the gym. And after I come back from the gym, I'm going to take you through my 2 other strategies for losing weight and losing belly fat for women over 50. So I'm starting off with hip thrusts, and hip thrusts are a great compound movement that use multiple muscles, but mainly you're going to be working the glutes. And it's really important that we regularly activate the glutes to prevent having back problems. I'm doing another compound movement here, which is losing multiple muscle groups, and it's a half squat, so you can see I'm doing it from my knees, which is great for people with knee or back problems. It's better if you use a Smith machine rather than a barbell for this exercise. And you can see I'm really working my glutes and squeezing at the top. That's really important. Next, I'm using the leg press. Don't be scared to go heavy on all of these. It's so important if we're going to get rid of belly fat that we're strength training to our full capacity, which means going heavy. This is the leg extension machine, which isn't a compound movement, it's an isolated movement, but it's really good for working your quads, which are going to give you nice shapely legs. Next, we're returning to a compound movement, which is the stiff leg deadlift. With all of these exercises, do 3 to 4 sets of 10 repetitions. You will see I'm keeping my legs quite straight here, so you can't take a massively heavy weight on this one. Finally, it's another isolated movement, the lying leg curl that's going to work your hamstrings. So that was your leg workout, and not a sit up inside. All of these compound movements are going to help trim your waist. So we are back from the gym. We've had a really good leg session at the gym. I hope you found that useful and something that you think you can incorporate into your routine. I promised I was going to talk about the other 2 strategies. The other 2 strategies are, secondly, high intensity interval training. You know, there's lots of ways of doing high intensity interval training. It doesn't have to be high impact. It can be low impact, high intensity interval training. You can use any piece of equipment. You can use a stationary bike, you can use a Stairmaster, or you can do skipping, or you can do a circuit type of HIIT, and that's what I tend to include on my programs because I find that's more interesting. Just do that 20 minutes 3 times a week. What the great thing about HIIT is it's really effective for burning fat. It burns fat up to 48 hours after your workout. But if you can't do HIIT, do something like walking instead. Walking's great. Most people can do walking, and if HIIT's just beyond you because of your fitness levels, try incorporating getting a lot of steps in, but you'll have to do more of that. I would say kind of 5 times a week for 50 minutes would be the equivalent of 3 times a week for 20 minutes for HIIT. And then finally, when we're over 50 and we're going through the menopause, it's so important to pay attention to diet. I've done lots of other videos around diet, so I won't go into a massive amount of detail here, but we do need to take our protein high. Why? Because protein is fantastic for burning fat. Our body takes longer to break down protein, therefore we burn more calories when we eat protein. It's fantastic for building muscle, and I've already explained why we need to build our muscle back up when we get into our 50s. It's also really satiating. I recommend 1 gram of protein for every pound in body weight, and then I like to do nothing less than 100 grams of carbohydrates. 200 grams is kind of the level that the women on my program tend to be on, 200 grams of carbohydrates, and then around 50 grams of fat. But we want to have good fats. We want to have things like avocado, nuts, olive oil. They're going to be fantastic for balancing our hormones, and that's what we want when we're older. We need to balance our hormones. So that was it. That's my 3 strategies for losing weight and losing belly fat for women over the age of 50. And do comment on this video with your experiences of this. I would love to hear from you. And don't forget to give this video the thumbs up, because I always like to see when people have liked a video. And hit the subscribe button if you want to get more videos like this, and get the bell notification so you're notified as soon as they drop. And you can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok, where I do daily updates on all these kinds of topics: menopause, weight loss for women over 50, weight loss for women over 40, and I try to kind of tackle all of this stuff in bite-sized information on a daily basis.